Hey there, welcome to this quick video where I'm going to be just talking a bit about how I do text mashing in Minish Cap. So I use two different controllers to play this game, specifically for the purpose of text mashing, because generally for like 90% of the game I find the keyboard as the superior control mechanism. It's super solid for me. But I do play a lot of this game with the controller. And the reason for this is because I find it so much easier to text mash with a controller at high speed. So why do I do that with a controller? It's because with this controller that I happen to have, if you notice this D-pad here, this D-pad's actually like incredibly loose. Like I can very lightly like move it about and it will just like shift around inside of its socket here, which happens to be really bad if I want to do precise controls with this controller, because I can never like directly press a direction properly. But if I press directly into the middle of the D-pad with my thumb, if you have a look at the inputs on the top right, you notice that like very slight movements from like how I'm controlling, like holding the controller, is going to give like wildly different like inputs. So this is incredibly useful if I want to very rapidly like change what inputs I'm doing and provide like really rapid various different inputs into the controls. So that makes it incredibly useful to do text mashing. So how I actually do the text mashing is I hold with my right hand the B button, and then this is my firm grip on the controller that I'm going to be using to like shake the controller and like generally like move the controller. And then only very lightly, I'm not even holding the controller too hard with my left hand, I'm literally just pressing down into the middle of the D-pad with my thumb. I can then with my right hand impart the motion and like shake it about like this. So I started off like with this, just like pressing it in the middle and then just doing like very like light movements like this, where I'm just shaking the controller a bit, and you can see there's a bit of like a diagonal motion going on with the inputs there. But then slowly over time, like I've managed to speed this up a lot to be able to very rapidly advance text boxes with that. So yeah, and because text boxes advance not only with D-pad inputs but with A and R inputs, with a controller I don't particularly go for them. Like it's not too much to like just like tap my index finger to try and do some like R inputs in there as well. The A's a little bit more awkward because I'd probably have to try and like move my thumb, but this is like where I'm having my hard grip on it, so it's a bit of something I don't worry too much about. I put all of the focus into the D-pad when I'm playing on the controller. So I used a controller throughout most of the intro, all the way up to Deepwood, and then various different parts of the run I will swap from the keyboard to the D-pad, onto my controller, whenever there's time, whenever there's a cutscene going on. So for example, when you have to do that Moblin fight outside of Hyrule Castle, there's you get the backscene cut, like the backstory cutscene with Vati, where you discover how like Vati was like with Eslo in the past, and that's a fairly long cutscene, and you don't have much action going on I can very quickly just grab the controller. I normally have it on my lap, so I can very quickly bring it out and then swap back to my to the keyboard very rapidly, like just swap between them. So yeah, there's various different points in the run where I'll do that. I'm not like gonna go through every single one, but I just through practice I determined which ones are the best that I can like swap from controller to keyboard at. But so I can't mash on the controller for like the entirety of the game. So a lot of the text boxes I do have to mash with the keyboard, and I'll quickly go over how I mash with the keyboard for that. So if I bring my keyboard down, the first thing I'll show is my numpad. So my numpad, I'll quickly go through the bindings that I've got. So on the 0 key, I've got the the I've got B bound to that, so I can like use 2 fingers here to mash like that, so I can get very rapid mashing going on here. A, I've got on enter, so I can also mash like that, and this is why I'm just choosing these big buttons here, so I can actually like mash very rapidly here. The plus key, I've got bound to start. So for example, when I've done a soft reset and I'm mashing through the title screen, you want to mash start and A. So I bring my other hand away from my inputs, from my direction inputs, so I can press both of these and butterfly mash like that, so I can mash both A and start. And then you can see here on my, instead of a 3 numpad key, I've actually got the R here, because that is how I... that's my R input on the controller. And like to maximize like the space I've got on here, I like touch the top right corner and the bottom left corner with my fingers like that. And then my 1 key is also the L button. So yeah, when I'm mashing on keyboard, I'll have my thumb like on the B button, just holding that down, and then I'll normally like have 2 fingers here just to mash on R and A at the same time. And meanwhile, whilst I'm doing this, on my other hand, I'll have my fingers over the direction input, so I'll have up, down, left, and right here on W, A, and D, and I'll mash all of these at the same time, so it'll be something like this. Because I've only got like 3 fingers that I touch here, but there's 4 buttons, I can only press either up or down. I can't press both at the same time, so you'll see when I do keyboard mashing, only the top half of the inputs light up instead of all of them. But I can't really show it all in like one go, but if you have a look at the inputs, my text mashing looks something like this. We're just trying to maximize the number of buttons we're all pressing basically at the same time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I do text mashing in Minish Cap. Don't focus too much on it. Don't tire yourself out too much. Just build up slowly with something that's consistent, and build up your stamina, and then you'll be able to mash rapidly throughout the entirety of the 2-hour speedrun. But yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for watching.